week, and obviously, the big news here in the US is that Donald Trump is now the presumptive Republican nominee for president. That's right, this sentient circus peanut now holds the future of a major political party in his tiny raccoon paw-sized hands. Which is, frankly, a little surprising because the internet repeatedly told me I had destroyed and eviscerated him. Why would they say that if it wasn't true? Look, if you are feeling depressed about the current state of this election, let me give you some perspective from the Philippines. The world's Rorschach test. I see an upside-down feather and my father's disappointment. Their presidential election takes place tomorrow, and the current frontrunner is Rodrigo Duterte, and he is a colourful character, to say the least.
Rodrigo Duterte is far from your average politician. His off-the-cuff remarks are legendary. At this mass wedding, Duterte offers himself as a gift to the young brides.
I don't have money to give, but I could give your wives something else. And this is for the wives only. Man, I'm sorry, but you don't get anything because I'm not a queer.
Wow! That kind of homophobia during a wedding usually only happens when the father of the bride has 6 whiskey sours and decides to tell everyone what he really thinks about Cam and Mitchell on Modern Family. Not a fan. Not a fan. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Duterte routinely kisses his female supporters, once called the Pope a son of a bitch, all of which has earned him a reputation as the Trump of the East, a title previously held by a burnt wonton covered in scarecrow pubes. Now, Duterte has also suggested, if elected, he would kill 5 criminals every week, which may not be an idle promise, since he's been mayor, extrajudicial death squads have reportedly killed over 1,000 people, and while he denies any involvement in that, he does admit he's got blood on his hands.
So no qualms about killing killers?
Yes, of course. I must admit that I have killed. 3 months early on, I killed about 3 people.
I'm sorry, about 3 people? That's not good. Not knowing how many people you've killed is like not knowing how many Vicodin you took. If you don't know the exact number, the answer is way too fucking many. And yet, incredibly, none of this has hurt him. More than half of his city's residents think the death squad is okay, which is a surprisingly measured response. Oh, death squads? Yeah, they're okay. Could be deathier, I suppose. Hashtag squad goals. At times, though, Duterte has seemed like he is trying to test the limits of basic human decency. On the campaign trail recently, he delivered a speech that was truly nauseating.
He was the mayor of Davao when an Australian missionary was murdered and gang raped in 1989 in the jail in Davao City, where he's still the mayor today.
I was angry she was raped. Yes, that was one thing. But she was so beautiful. I think the mayor should have been first. What a waste.
What a fucking asshole. And if any part of you is thinking, was that some kind of horrific joke, please know, he meant every word of it.
It was not a joke. I said it in a narrative. I was not smiling. I was just talking plain sense.
Okay, let this be a lesson to all of us. When we say, I just want a politician who'll tell me what he really thinks, we should specify that that politician should not be a total fucking monster. And yet, incredibly, this man is leading in the polls by 11 points. So he's probably going to get elected president tomorrow, which isn't just terrifying for the Philippines, because it means that in just a year's time, we could be treated to this as an official